Friendly reminder, if you try and fail, congratulations. Most people don't even try.
That's right, you heard it correctly. Sometimes, of course, I make bad art. And that is not an overstatement. Sometimes, if you do something for the first time, or you just want to experiment with some new technique, it is hard and nearly impossible to make good art every single time. And yeah, guys, take a look, for example, on this piece right now. I wanted to create something similar to this Lourdes Sanchez piece. I really enjoyed how it looks, how those flowers are just frozen in time. It is just mesmerizing, and yes, I wanted to try to recreate something like this and maybe implement his technique in my future paintings. I thought it would be so cool. So yes, this is the story how I didn't manage to do this and how you can maybe benefit from my story. So I decided to give it a try. And of course, I started with the watercolors because that was a watercolor painting. I've tested out some colors, picked the one I liked, and I started with the wetting the paper. I don't know what went wrong with that. Maybe even the supplies were the problem, because I've chose the paper which doesn't have much caveness. It is really flat, and I guess that may be a problem just because the paper, the water wouldn't absorb as much, but I'm just speculating. I don't know what the reason was. So I struggled with replicating this style very much. And also sometimes when you look on your painting or drawing for so long, even though the drawing may be good, you may think it is still bad. Actually, at this point, if I stopped, the next day I would love it. Looking back on the footage, I really like this painting at this point. It just looks different from my usual stuff, and it doesn't look anything like the painting he created. So I was really disappointed because I thought I had the abilities to replicate it, but that wasn't the case. And I don't know, I thought, well, if I can't do it, maybe I can do what I usually do, right? So I just added more details and I hated it even more. And then I was like, maybe it's just the problem with the color because it's only one color. So I added this yellow and it made it even worse because I was like, it looks like it is not finished. So then I started experimenting with some techniques. I've started adding some shadows with watercolors and I waited it to dry and I was just over it. I was just thinking, Jesus, why am I continuing on doing it? I was like, I can make it work. So I started adding some details with the pro markers and I was like, it looks a little bit better. I went with it. I added more colors. I added some yellow, blue, orange, and I feel like it is a big mess. I've started really liking some parts of this drawing. Like if I looked only at the down of this drawing, I love it. And if I looked at the top of this drawing also, I really enjoyed it. But if I looked at the entire thing, it was like, something is missing here and I don't know what. And I feel like the downside of this painting was just too busy, and that's what it was. And because, well, it's not horrible, right? So the next day I looked at it and I thought, yes, I think I know what is the problem with this drawing. So I decided to cover some parts of it and make it a little bit less detailed, less busy. And then I was like, yes, that's it. But at the end, I ended up with the same style, the same pattern, the same thing as I usually do, and that wasn't the case. Yes, so I feel like the moral of this story is Sometimes you have to trust yourself and trust the process, and don't follow the same paths every time you paint. Sometimes you can actually do bad art, create bad art, and that is not a bad thing. And sometimes trying to rescue the drawing, trying to, I don't know, like prove to yourself that it is good and you can make it better, sometimes it is a bad thing. Looking back, as I told you, I think this painting, this drawing, I don't know what it is, this is mixed media piece at this point. I use like 4 techniques on this. It wasn't bad actually, it was just different. So yes, trust yourself. And yes, I've prepared too much paint, so I reuse it, and I've prepared canvas for my next painting. I hope you'll enjoy it also. It is in making right now. So yeah guys, if you enjoyed my short video, please consider staying with me for a little longer, leave a like, and yes, I will see you in the next one very, very soon.